Hi, this is Deeney doing a walkthrough of the code for CA3 games programming. When I started off the game using the main app anyway, and here is a list of all the functions that I have put into the game. In the main method, I have it calls three simple functions: how to play, which is just a list of CAs that show how to play the game, and then create game, which sets up the game, loading in all the objects and rooms from the text files, and then finally the run game, which runs the loop of the game, which I'll go through now in a second. Now, I've labelled it here the run game functions, the functions for ending the game, and for creating loading objects for the game to run, and so on and so forth. Now, the game wouldn't run without all of these functions working together in the one body, so I put everything into the main app rather than doing the utility file. I tried doing a utility file and I couldn't seem to get the main player properties to load in properly when I was doing a load and save file for the game. So as you can see here, the create game simply loads in all different text files, such as the rooms, the items, the number of objects in a room, and so on and so forth. Then same for load objects, load rooms. Load game then is a little bit different, because load game gives you the option to load a save file that you've already completed, or from the player data text, or start a new game, which is the main player.create class. So now we go into the run game function, which allows the game to run. I have it set so that while the player has not examined a certain object, the game will continue running. At the moment, the options for the player to do are in the command list, which is go to a certain room, pick up a certain object, check either the room or the stats for more information. Exploring the room allows you to turn off objects and save energy. Rest restores your health. Show is for show commands, which is a list of the commands, which would be something like this. Quit allows you to quit the game, save and quit, or examine, which allows you to examine the objects and find out a little bit more details about them. So the the while loop, is creates a command and then gets the thing name, and then after that it brings it to a certain function depending on the command list. Each one brings up a different command, and then once the game has come out of a loop, it goes to quit game. So quit game then brings you to another method, which allows you to either save and quit game, or to finish the game. And in case one, the game has been saved and you can quit, or you can quit without saving, or you can just continue on to show what your stats are for the final end of the game score. Saving the game then involved just simply making a player data text and an out file from the main player save point, which I'll show you later on. And to win, the main function for winning was if you were either dead or you won. Now, the go-to function, which is the functions for the command list, is down here. The go-to function is probably the most advanced one, because I added in the monsters to it. We have a monster here from the RPG code, which was a pointer for one of the monster class, and I have it set so that it can attack the player randomly in between rooms. There's a check random encounter method which shows that the monster shows up randomly in between movements between rooms. So as the player has found a new room and gets the new room, and then is set to be in the new room just before the player arrives, the game checks for a random monster encounter and checks to see if you have encountered a fight with the monster. So there then enters you into a new while loop, which is essentially the attack sequence. So after the random sequence for the monsters attacking, I'll show you a little bit more code on that, which allows the player to either attack or run away, which is found in the main player attack. I'll show you that again in a second. So far I've displayed saving game and random monster encounters. Another thing that I have is loading in the game. So if the player would like to load from the save file, it loads in from player data.txt and loads up all the main player stats, such as the score, the hit points, and various other points that would contribute to having a saved file. As for the monsters then, there's a monster.cpp which shows the constructor and the fight related functions. If the monster is dead, what XP you get from it, get name, get hit points. Attacking the player then is simple. If the accuracy is greater than or equal to the random number, you take damage. The monster also takes damage then as well, which just is taken away from the hit points of the monster. Then for the actual fight sequence, I believe or something. And check random encounter. The monsters are loaded in. And so player attack. When the player attacks the monster, the player has the choice to either attack or run. And if you are attacking the monster, then it's simple picking a random number, and if it's less than the accuracy that your player has, you can hit the monster and it'll add to your score, subtract from the monster's hit points, and to end up taking away, eventually wearing down the monster's health until their hit points reach 0, in which case you win the battle. Otherwise you'd miss, and then the while loop in which the fight sequence is happening will repeat. There's also a 25% chance of being able to run, which means you can either get away safely or you'll be stuck and you'll have to fight them, or there'll be another chance where the monster can fight you and kill you. If the monster is able to kill you, then the function says you died in battle, game over, you lose, and shows your score at the end, whether you became an eco warrior or you failed. In order to become an eco warrior, your score must be over 500. Over or equal to 500, which means you have to boost your score, and in order to boost your score you have to turn off electricity and save energy. The way I sorted it was, when you went to explore a room, a random encounter with an electronic object occurred, and you could turn off the object using a simple turn off or leave it function, and that added to your score whether you did or did not do it. So now all that's left is the puzzle solving. At the moment, the puzzle solving that I had in the game was from CA2, which was trying to find the right objects in the right rooms, which will allow you access to a new room. So the easiest way to show you this is by playing the actual game. Now, while running the game, it's very important just to read what shows up here. The literal, type in show commands to get show commands to come up, type in check info, all that stuff. Type exactly what's there for the command to work, and then type in explore and the name of the room that you're in without any caps or anything, and it will work. So, would you like to save from node file? For the moment, I'll click no and create a new character. So, return Vladimir. First thing I would encourage people to do would be to check your stats. So, it gives you an idea of what is going on in terms of the player stats. So you have your name saved, your accuracy and all set to a default of 10, and you have a default lightning of lightning with an accuracy of 1 to 10. So the next would be to check the room to see what's available to you. In the room you have objects, a key, a watch and a wallet. And for the moment I'll just pick up the key. So if you don't pick up the key, you try to go to the landing and get an error message saying you need the key to enter. So pick up the key and go to landing. This is where you meet your first random encounter with a monster. So my choice is to attack, and I win. So then I arrive at the landing, and my next choice would be then to, I'd say, check room again. Now you have a list of different rooms that you can enter from here, being that this would be the focal point of the game between here and the hall, for upstairs and downstairs of the house that you're in. In order to finish the game, I need to speed through it now just to explore this room, to give you an idea of how the saving energy element works. So it shows that the mini fridge is not being used in the room. Leave it on or turn it off. If you turn it off, you've saved energy and earned XP. You can explore the room. Actually, I'll go to the next room, which would be go to the closet. There it is. In the closet, there is an energy bulb, which is crucial to getting it down to the hall. At the hall. Yeah, pick up. Now I will just save the game here, and I'll come back to it in a minute. So save and quit. Game has been saved. Execute and quit.